This is me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. All right, guys, so I got a message from someone, and she said, how can I talk to a Leo that is always feeling sad or lonely? And like no matter what I say, it goes in one ear and out the other. Well, Leos are lions, so they don't listen to nobody. A lion is the head of the pride. They don't listen to nobody, so I'm not surprised the person is not listening to you because Leos, even if they listen, have a tendency to go do whatever they want. Kind of like Aquarius in that way. But let's talk about this sad or lonely part. If your Leo is feeling sad and lonely, you have to get to the bottom of why. Why does the Leo feel sad and lonely? Maybe the Leo has a sad, lonely life. Maybe the Leo needs to, strengthen their support system. Maybe the Leo needs to start going out and dating. I'm not sure why they're sad and lonely, but that's the first thing you have to find out. Because the answer to this question changes based on why they're sad and lonely. If they're sad and lonely because they're not making the effort to go out and spend time with people, then I would recommend that they make the effort to go out and spend time with people. I would even offer to go with them or take them places. Like, hey, well, let's go to the club this weekend, or let's go bowling, or let's go to, your aunt's barbecue, or something like that. Sometimes something like that is enough to jerk a person out of their funk. But if they're sad or lonely because they're in a depression, then the answer is totally different. Buying a new dress and going to see, your aunt at the barbecue is not going to be enough if they're in a clinical depression. So that's why I said the answer to the question is going to give you a lot more information. Now, let's say they are sad or lonely because they're depressed. Then what? Well, then I would recommend that they see a professional. Whenever somebody is in a depression or they're in a mental health crisis, I recommend a professional because a lot of people try to deal with the mental health issues on their own and it ends up being worse. If you or I fell and we were having pain in our leg, or if something happened and we didn't feel good, we felt sluggish. If anything went on with our physical body, everybody and their grandma would tell you go to the hospital, go to the doctor, see a physician. But if you say I'm sad and lonely, people say, oh, you'll be okay, just shake it off. And that's pretty much what they tell you. I remember being depressed for years and people saying, oh, just cheer up. Motherfucker, if I could cheer up, I wouldn't be depressed. Duh. And people just expect you to just, shake it off. But it's not just a sadness that you have for 5 minutes over, losing a game. This is something that could be a lot deeper. So the first thing I would say is if it is a depression, they need to see a professional, see a doctor. Let somebody look at you. Let them look and see what's going on. This person could be clinically depressed. This person could just be having a bad situation. This person could have some kind of chemicals imbalanced in their brain. They could be bipolar or have any other kind of narcissistic disorder or anything else. You don't know what it is. So you don't want to just say, oh, just do this, but not know what it is. So once you've identified what it is, then you can go from there. And like I said, if they need to see a physician, that's one thing. I would definitely recommend that first and foremost. I always recommend that first and foremost with any kind of mental health situation. And then I do little stuff. Like if I know somebody's depressed and, I've said to them, oh, you should, see a therapist, that kind of thing, gave them some advice on that. While they're kicking that around in their head, because people have to figure out how they feel about that, I would offer them something like YouTube videos that talked about, depression. If I saw something good that I liked, maybe books on forgiveness, books on healing, books on depression, stuff like that. I would probably offer them some things that will be informative at that point, because you can't make anybody do anything, and nagging them is not going to help. So I would try to inform them. if this person reads this book, if being the operative word, they might see, oh shoot, I'm depressed, I need to go handle this. They might and they might not. So all you can do is make suggestions, and you also have to back up a little bit, because it seems like to me that you're, trying to help this person, but by constantly nagging them nagging them is not what you want to do. You want to kind of, one thing about me, when somebody has something like this going on, I have a tendency to just drop little things and then back up. Drop little things and then back up. I don't want to nag and hound and be in their face. So I just kind of drop little seeds, and then I go about my business. And then I check on them after a little bit of time to see, and then I go about my business. I don't nag them, I don't harass them, I don't smother them, because that's not going to help them. And I've done that before, so I know it doesn't help. So I just drop little seeds. So with this person, I would plant little seeds. And if it's less serious, like I said earlier, if they just need to get out, I would just start, having good times with them. Like, oh, let's go here, let's go there, Maybe have them make a list of fun things they've always wanted to do but never tried. So let's go do this weekend. If it's not something that's serious and they're just in a little funk, then I would go with that. I would go with just, trying to spruce up and bring some more fun to them, especially if they're my friend or my lover or my family member. Then you're in more of a position to be like, hey, let's do a road trip, if that's fun to you, of course. We loved road trips. So if I said road trip, everybody was like, yeah, road trip, So that could be something that, could get you hyped. It just depends on why they're sad and lonely. So first, identify why. And if they don't know, or if they don't want to tell you or something like that, then it might be more of something serious, But either way, try to identify it. And if they can't identify it, just go ahead and recommend that they see a professional. And there are a lot of places that do therapy on a sliding scale. Some cities have even free ones. My daughter was going to one for a little while. She wanted to work with aromatherapy to work with her, like, anxiety. She had a lot of anxiety about going to college and growing up and that kind of stuff. So we found one that was very near our house, and it was free. So there's always all kinds of community, resources. Look into those kind of resources. Maybe that's some gems you could drop on your friend. Like, oh, I found these free resources. Check this out, and then back up. Send an email and then back up, that kind of thing. Don't be too pushy. It's a little bit of a dance, you got to come forward. It's kind of a waltz, but don't be too pushy. And hopefully your Leo will decide that they want to feel better. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for your question. I hope that helps. I hope your Leo gets better. All right. All right, guys, time for me to go. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you know somebody who's in this situation, please pass on my video so they can check this out. Likewise, if you would like to have a tarot or an oracle card reading, please email me. I'll leave my email underneath this video. Okay? If you want to send me a love donation, I'll leave my PayPal. If you want to send me a gift, I'll leave my cool Amazon wish list. It's some great stuff on there. So even if you don't want to send me a gift, check out my Amazon wish list, because if you're my size or if you're into the things I'm into, you might see something that you like on there. I update it regularly. All right, guys. I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye.